Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Stefanie Drysdale's weekly cybersecurity recap, number 20 for Friday, May 22nd, 2020. Miss Stefanie, how are things in Chicago?
They are overcast and yucky, but we're hoping for some warmer weather this week. How are they in Arizona?
Sunniest place in the United States, maybe on Earth. We're very, very happy out here. Things are opening up. For the most part, things are pretty much back to normal. So we find ourselves fortunate, and we're just waiting like everybody else to see what happens. Now, if you could only get a better internet connection in Chicago, things would be grand, wouldn't they?
That's going to be first on my list for Santa this year, for sure, is better internet.
Tell us what's going on in the cyber world.
Sure. So this week, Forbes published an article about why the largest cyber attack in history will happen within 6 months. And I hate to even say it out loud because I don't want to jinx it, but it goes into a lot of reasons, kind of like a broader attack surface with points of entry. Unsecured devices, vulnerable home networks, attacks up over 600%. So, if anything, we can take from it that now is the time for us to tighten up those systems and perhaps even maybe invest in some cyber stocks. Law.com published an article this week about what to expect in the new normal post-COVID-19, including the investment opportunities around distressed debt, tech and health investments, investigations into non-compliance, abuse, misconduct, tax increases that we can potentially expect to incur, more debt, discussions about privacy, security, information sharing, more intense reviews of supply chains and sourcing, and a greater urgency for digital transformation and more. So definitely catch that article to kind of anticipate what may be coming next. Chuck Andrews has launched a new initiative called Job Talk, where he's going to help showcase some really incredible talent that are in transition between positions that they're looking for a new home. I love seeing this. So everyone make sure to follow Chuck so that you can keep an eye out for, people who may be a benefit to your team or that you may know of something that could be helpful for them. Dennis Lieber this week shared an article written by Steve Moore about why CISOs are so highly valuable during crisis situations. And I talked about the importance of building that foundation leading up to the crisis beforehand, as well as that unique skill set that it takes to protect, while at the same time continuing to empower and adapt to, the primary business goals of the whole organization. So definitely a good read to catch. Luis Morales shared CISO Online's updated guide to the 2020 top security conferences. That also includes the conferences that have been canceled or rescheduled or switched to a virtual model. So a couple were still kind of notably missing from that list. I'm not sure that they've made decisions yet, but it's a really good centralized resource to check on periodically for those kinds of updates. CISO Online also shared an article on Vishing scams, a lot related to COVID-19 crisis. Reminder, Vishing is when someone actually calls you on the phone and tries to social engineer you into doing something that's actually going to hurt you later. Make sure that when your phone is ringing, a good habit is just not answer the phone if you don't know who it is. But if you do, and if they happen to try to get information from you, to just try to qualify that information, give nothing back, and then maybe hang up the phone and turn around and go straight back to the source. So if they say that they're your bank, to hang up the phone, turn around and call the number on the back of your card and deal with your bank directly. Dev Stahl, the general counsel for Microsoft, wrote a brilliant article for the American Bar Association in an effort to help address the need for measurable growth and diversity and inclusion in the legal industry. But I think it rings true for all industries. Diversity is good for everyone. Diversity without real inclusion is just superficial and stripped of the ability to show any real value. So I think that article was really, really helpful. We're going to see a lot of these lately, as this is kind of the time that this is being highlighted. So make sure that you're being a good advocate and that you're doing your part to make sure that more people have voices and there's more color and variety in your workforce. Bob Carver shared a ZDNet article this week on announcing Signal's new PIN function to move users away from using their phone number IDs. This is a really welcome sight. SIM swap, fraud, privacy issues. I love to see this not necessarily associated with a user's phone number anymore. So this is really, really welcome and well done on this one, Signal. Hacker Combat shared a really handy checklist for cybersecurity policies. I thought this was especially helpful for businesses without a dedicated CISO or an IT professional in staff. So make sure you catch that one. Steve Bernard spoke with the Wall Street Journal on planning for and responding to destructive attacks. Make sure you catch that. Definitely worth watching. And a really, really special thanks to service members and vets for their sacrifices and services on this very unique Memorial Day and Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe, everyone. Be mindful of where we're at in this COVID crisis. Help us all get back to normal as soon as possible. So anyway, big thanks to everyone. I hope you all are well and keep smiling, and we'll see you next week.